Everyone, I'm so excited. I've gotten a lot of phone calls, texts, Facebook messages asking about this new Small Business Academy. And I know if those people are asking me questions that there are others of you out there who have some questions about it. So I wanted to do this video, one, to answer some questions about the Small Business Academy, what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be focused on, what some of the outcomes you can expect. And then I wanted to give you some tidbits throughout this video, things that if you decide Small Business Academy is not the right fit for you, that's okay. I want you to have some good tools, some good information from this video. So I'm going to start by talking about big picture. A lot of people ask me, why are you doing this? You know, you have clients, you speak, you write. Why are you so passionate about starting the small business program? Well, the reason is really twofold. One, I love it. I love people and I love business. So this combination is perfect for me. And we have a real need in our community. You know, we have companies that have hundreds of employees, that have great budgets, that have great teams, great products, great services, and we have small business that have very small budgets, that have very limited resources as far as people and their time, right? Because as a small business owner, whether you're a sole proprietor or you have 50 employees, you're still wearing a lot of the hats. So what I wanted to do is bridge that gap of these big corporate companies that I often work with and this small sole proprietor or companies with up to 50 employees, and give them an opportunity to grow and expand, be more profitable, live more purposeful lives. And the way that I could do that is to offer Small Business Academy. So Small Business Academy is a way for small businesses to still have coaching, to still have all the business tools and templates and systems and guidance and inspiration and accountability without the hefty investment of hiring a coach for your company. So the first month, and we'll meet weekly by the way, in the first month, the first thing we're going to do is talk about your business plan. And not only are we going to talk about it, these are going to be hands-on days. You are going to leave accomplished. The first thing we're going to do is create your business plan. And I'm not talking about one of those business plans that you write, you know, because you have to, because you're going into business and that's what you're supposed to do, or because a banker asked you for it, right? And those business plans, where do they end up? Typically, when I meet with someone, even in my business, finance, commercial lending world, I would ask for a business plan and they would tell me one of three things. One, I don't have one. Okay. Or two, I have it, Crystal, I just don't know where it is. Or three, they hand me something after they dust it off, right? Because it's been on the shelf and it's from 1999. And I want you should want to write a plan for your business. If you think about something like vacation, right? It's maybe 1 week if you're a small business owner, if you're lucky to get a week, right? And if you're lucky to get a week right now, we're going to get you out of that. Life is too short. It's about living life. Your business should provide you a means to do that, not run your life. So if you think about a vacation, what do you do when you go on vacation? You plan where you're going, what you're going to wear, what time you're leaving, what day you're coming back, how you're going to travel, who's going to come with you, right? Most of us just don't hop in a car because we know how to drive, or jump on a plane because we have the ability to buy a plane ticket and go on vacation. We spend a lot of time, a lot of hours, a lot of emotion, a lot of resources, a lot of our money for 1 week of our life. Yet we build these businesses, or we go into business and don't plan for our business and for our success. So that 1 week is so crucially important that we spend our time, our money, our resources, and our emotion on it, strategizing and planning. Yet the other, 51 weeks of the year, we run our businesses reacting to everything that we think we need to do. So we're going to build a plan during that month, week over week. And not just a plan, we're going to set goals, specific goals that we can measure and track throughout the year. They're going to be obtainable goals. And we're going to build a strategic plan to help you achieve them. And so many people set goals, but then they don't know how to get there, right? So I'd like to use weight loss as an example. A lot of people say, Crystal, I want to lose weight. Well, great. So if you lose a pound, you've accomplished your goal. Congratulations. And they said, no, I want to lose 20 pounds. Great. Well, now we have something to start with. Well, how are you going to do that? Oh, I need to go to the gym. Okay. How often? What do you need to do while you're there? What about your eating habits? Do we need to change them? Do you need to go to the grocery store? Do we need to make a list? Do we need an accountability person? We have to have a strategic plan to lose the 20 pounds. And by the way, by when? Are you going to lose it tomorrow? Probably not. If I say I'm just going to lose 20 pounds, that might mean 10 years from now, right? So we're going to build a business plan that allows you not only to set achievable goals, but to strategize and build a step-by-step plan of how, when, who, and what needs to be done for you to achieve those goals. And then in the second month, we're really going to look at the 6 ways. So many business owners tell me, I just need to get more sales. I just need more leads. I just need more customers. That may or may not be true, but the reality, there are really 6 key factors that drive your net income, your profitability. And one is, how many leads do you get, right? But that's the most expensive way to drive a business. If you get, let's say you get 100 leads a month, and you only convert 10% of them, that other 90% was for nothing, right? So it's not just about getting new customers, or getting new leads, it's about getting those leads and turning them into those raving fans, those clients that want to come back time and time again. So we'll work on generating leads, and we'll work on your conversion rate. How do you close more of those leads? Because the reality is, if you're getting a lot of leads but you're not closing, you're missing a great opportunity. And then once you've converted them, what's your average dollar sale? I worked with a company that their average dollar sale was $3. Doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? So immediately I said, we need to increase your average dollar sale. And I have proven ways to do that. And we actually increased our average dollar sale to $8. Still doesn't sound like a lot of money, right? This particular business saw about 200 people a day. Well, 200 people a day times $5 is $1,000 a day. It's a little over $350,000 to $60,000 a year. All we did was increase our average dollar sale by $5. Little tiny changes. So we have to know your average dollar sale, and we have to be able to increase it. And then, how many times are they coming back to you? If you think about that organization that we increased our average dollar sale by $5 and made over $300,000 more a year, well, that $300,000, if that person came to you once a day, what if they now came twice? Maybe not twice a day, maybe twice a week. So now that $8 times 1 is now that $8 times 2. So we need to figure out how many times your clients buy from you. And if we can increase that just by once, that's automatically doubling your revenue. Remember, they're already there. They're already spending the average dollar sale. They're already your client. Why aren't we giving them opportunities to come back and buy again? You have a great product or service to offer them. You have a solution for them. You have value that you can add to their life. And then the final 2 things are, what are your profit margins? So often people say, I paid $5 for a widget. I'm going to sell it for 10. It's 50% profit. What if your overhead is 60%? Now you're loss making 10% on everything you do. So you're spinning your wheels and you're making all this money and you're just broke. So in the second month, we're going to focus on those 6 areas: your leads, your conversion rate, your average dollar sale, how many times people come back to you, what your profit margins are, and then your overhead. And immediately, just by tracking, you're going to be able to see those grow. And then we're going to work on your company budget. So often business owners work like this, right? Do we have money? Yes, then we can do it. Well, you don't run your house like that. You don't say, hey, I've got $5,000 in the bank, so I think I'm going to go buy a new, very inexpensive used car, right? You don't. You budget. You know what? If you're the person who wants to make a car payment, you budget what that car payment's going to be. You know if you can afford a $400 car payment or a $700 car payment. Yet we run our businesses by the money that's in the bank right at that very moment, and we don't budget. The other thing that we're going to work on is cash flow. I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to think about a business that makes $1.2 million, right? And let's say they net $200,000. Sounds like a pretty successful business, right? But imagine if the front end of their expenses came within the first 90 days of their business. What if that $300,000 was $330,000 in the first 90 days? They're dead. Unless maybe they have some creative financing options, right? You can't run a business and be $30,000 short. If you can't make payroll, people will probably not stay with you. So it's not about how much money you make. It's about how the money comes in and how the money goes out. And the timing of that is crucial. It can either make or break a company. So you will create your own cash flow projections. You will create your own budget. And the key is sticking to them. And remember, you're coming week over week. We will have 20 people, 20 other entrepreneurs in this group that you're going to be accountable to. So I know that you will make progress. We're going to talk about business lending. Again, it's a crucial part. I've seen so many businesses, close their doors. They had a great business, a great model, but guess what? They weren't in the right loan product, or they didn't have financing available. They get into this short-term debt of $800,000 they have to pay back over 2 years. Well, that's $33,000 a month. Company might make $200, but their overhead might be so high that they can't survive. But imagine taking that loan and getting in the right loan and understanding how to get in that right loan, right? I know some of you are thinking, oh, I couldn't get a loan if I tried. I can help you with that. You need to have those resources available to you, and you need to understand what you're getting into when you get financing for your business. One of the easiest ways to grow is to finance, right? To invest in your business to be able to grow. So that $800,000 loan in a different, used in a different way, the loan payment might be $3,300 a month. Well, that's a $25,000 a month game changer for a business. So I want to talk to you and have you understand the ins and outs of financing in a business and how to get the loan that's right for you, the loan that you deserve, and how to navigate that process. The other thing that we're going to work on the following month is sales, marketing, and branding. Yes, they're three very different things. And I know as a small business owner, it can be challenging. What do? Do I do social media? And if I do social media, what do? Do I do Facebook? Do I do Instagram? Oh my gosh, if I need to reach kids, then I have to do Snapchat now? Do I do Yelp? What about the Yellow Pages? Then there's the newspaper. Then there's radio. We have all these things being thrown at us. And we all know that everybody's approaching us because their marketing strategy is the best, right? So as a small business owner, not only can it be overwhelming, but it can be a budget killer. And a lot of times, what is the first thing that we cut when things are tough, right? We cut marketing. And that's the last thing you need to do, right? Because you can't stop getting clients because you don't have enough clients or customers. So we need to be very strategic about our marketing. So during that month, we will create a marketing plan. We're going to talk about your ideal customer. We're going to talk about the mediums to use. Then we're going to test and measure. We're going to give you a way to track where your clients are coming from, right? Because now if I know where they're coming from, then I can take that other part of my marketing budget where they're not coming from, and I can invest it in the one that's producing results. So during that month, we will create your marketing plan, again, with step by step. What are we going to do? How are we going to test it, measure it? How are we going to make sure that we're getting the results and stop this madness? Then, what about people, right? We have to talk about how, now you might be a sole prop and want to be that for the rest of your life, and that's okay too. But there are organizations that want to grow and need people to do that. So we're going to talk about how to attract, how to align people, how to retain people, right? They're your greatest asset. You can have a great product or service, and unless your people are happy and thriving in their roles, you're not going to grow. They're not going to be fulfilled. Your customers are probably going to get bad customer service. I have a friend, Mr. Mike Cooper. Hi, Mike. Hi, Buffy. Who posted on Facebook yesterday that customer service has really declined. And I can tell you that your customer service is only a reflection of how engaged and how happy your employees are. So if your employees are not thriving in their role, if they're not in the right role, if they're struggling, it's going to be reflected in your customer service, which is what? Going to affect your bottom line, your ability to grow, your ability to serve the purpose of your company. So we're going to talk about where to find people. So often I hear people just don't want to work. Well, guess what? Yes, they do. Our unemployment rate is less than 3% in our market right now, which means 97% of people not only want to work, they're working. So, and I hear this all the time. Oh, I can't find good help. Guess what? There's good help out there. There's great help out there. You just need to know where to find them, how to discover what they're great at, get them in the right role, and then figure out how to keep them. And that month, that's what we're going to be working on. Okay, I have to back up for a minute here. I get so excited. I actually skipped one of the months. And one of the months we are going to be working on systematizing your business. Because the reality is most business owners build a people-dependent business. And yes, we need people. People are our greatest asset. And if those people know everything about that role and what needs to be done and the ins and outs of it, and they happen to leave your company, what happens? I know what happens. I've been there. I've seen it. I've worked with businesses that it happens to. Essentially, that part of the business shuts down, and then we scramble and we fall behind and wonder what happened. Well, what happened is you didn't build a business that was dependent on systems, right? We have to systemize everything from the time you open your doors until the time you close your doors. Or if you're a 24-hour business, I should be able to walk in and pick up any role within your company and have a documentation of how to do that job, and not only how to do it, but how to do it extremely well, right? Down to the last detail. And that way, if someone leaves, someone else can come right in and pick up on it. Or if there's a system for your customer service, give them the tools that they need to do their job. Remember, if I build a business that's dependent on systems, I can bring someone in with the right talent, remember, because we found the good people and they want to work. If I can pick up a system, I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to be more productive quicker. I'm going to feel more accomplished, which makes me thrive at work, which gives you the outcome that you want. So one of the months, we're going to spend building the systems for your business. Remember, this is hands-on. This isn't get an assignment, take it, and figure it out. This isn't get a great workshop and go home and get excited and then put the business plan on the shelf, right? We're going to get it done. And then finally, we can attract our clients. So often I hear people say, I don't know who my ideal client is, or I can sell to anybody. Well, that may be true, and you may have a Ford and you may have a Tesla, and it's okay to have either, right? There is a market for both of those. You have to figure out who your clients are, what they value, and what problem you can solve for them. Somebody who wants a Ford Focus might value their budget, right? They may not want to work 80 hours to drive a Tesla. Somebody who drives a Tesla might value luxury, might value ease, might value, the high-end luxury life. And that's okay. But you have to figure out who your client is. Who are your customers? And once you figure that out, now we can figure out exactly how we fill their need, right? So if you think about, I'll use myself as an example. I spent many years working with small business in business finance. And my clients, my favorite clients, thanks to the business bank, it was a bank that I worked for, they knew their clients. Their ideal client was a medical or a dental professional. Why? Because they need office space, right? Loan. They need equipment. Loan. They need lines of credit. Loan. So we knew we could solve a problem for them, right? We knew there was value there. What we also knew is they have great cash flow. We also knew they usually, 9 times out of 10, had great credit, right? And the need would always be there. There's always a need for equipment. They're always expanding, creating new locations. And so it was very easy for me to figure out where they were, what their needs were, how I could reach them, and then how I could be of value to them. And I didn't just provide them a loan, right? What I provided them, my niche, so many people will say, what makes us different is customer service. Well, if you're saying that, I'm going to call you out because I can get good customer service anywhere. Matter of fact, in banking, I can probably get good customer service from 20 different people in 20 different institutions. And that doesn't separate you and it doesn't separate me. So if you're saying that, stop saying that. Figure out what it is that your customers need. Mine, doctors and dentists, are either playing really hard or working really hard. If they're at work or if they're at play, they really didn't want to talk to the banker, right? We were all knocking on their doors. So I had to figure out a way to add more value than just a loan because they could get a loan anywhere. So what I figured out was I needed to understand their industry. I needed to understand reimbursement rates. I needed to understand their equipment needs. I was a person that they would call when they needed equipment, so I could call Henry Schein or McKesson, right? Because I had relationships there. I understood their needs. And so I became the advisor. But it had to start with knowing who my clients were and knowing what their needs are. Now I can solve their problem. Now I can retain them. Now I can get them to tell other people about me and bring me clients. And guess what happens to my marketing budget? It shrinks because now I have people sending people to me, right? And then finally, well, not finally, we're going to work on scaling your business. How do you do less with, or how do you do more with less? And I know what you're thinking. I already can't do everything I need to do with what I have now. But I want you to think about, like in my industry, I can speak, I can coach, I could also do webinars, right? Takes less time, impacts more people, and generates more revenue. And it can generate revenue while I'm spending time with my grandchildren, which is, for those of you who know me, is what I love to do. If you think about retail, do your clients have the opportunity to buy online from you? I have a managed services industry, and they meet with their clients in person. So we figured out a way to meet another need for their clients. They're already there. They have something else, another problem that they can solve for those clients. So we're going to scale your business so you can do less with more. My goal is to give you your life back, improve your quality of life, and business is just a means that we do that. And then, if you really want to improve your quality of life and really have the ability to live the life that you've always dreamed of, which is probably why you got into business in the first place, we're going to talk about passive income. So I want you to think about income as a porch, right? And if you have these pillars, let's say these pillars that hold your porch up are streams of income. Well, if you have one stream of income from your business and something happens, whether it's in the economy, whether it's a global challenge, right? There was an airline, and I can't think of the name right now, but they were the biggest airline in the world. They were so big that they would lend to other airlines, right? They were financing other airlines. And successful, multi-billion-dollar company, and 911 happened. Guess what happened to them? They went bankrupt. Because while they had two sources of income, financing and their clients, right? They didn't have many clients. Nobody was flying anywhere. And since nobody was flying anywhere with them, they weren't flying anywhere with the other airlines either. So those airlines couldn't pay them. And I know that might seem a bit drastic, but it happens. And if you have one source of income and something happens to that income, what are you going to do? So I work with people to create other streams of income. So if you think about that porch again, right? If I have 5 or even 10 streams of income, and I'm not talking about trading your time for money, I'm talking about money that is generated, revenue that is generated while you're spending time with family, while you're on the beach, while you're living your life, right? Can you imagine a life where you have 5 or 10 streams of income? If some of them aren't so strong, you still have those other strong pillars to hold up your porch. So I know in business we can get caught up in, and we can be in the weeds about, this is my business, it has to be successful. And yes, it does. And there's so many other opportunities, right? So I want all of my clients, everyone who participates in this academy, to have multiple streams of income. I want you to live the life that you dreamed of when you started your business. And then we're going to wrap up the year, plan again for 2020. Because guess what? We're going on vacation again, right? We have to plan. We have to strategize. We have to do it every year. My clients, we take a look back at least quarterly. We readjust quarterly because we're tracking, we're testing, we're measuring, we know what works, we know what's getting results, and we know how to get to the next step in our plan. So we're going to wrap up the year with business planning for 2020. And at that point, you know how to create systems, and you have systems. You know how to find and get good help. You know how to keep them. You know how to get your clients, how to retain them. You know what your average dollar sale is. You've increased it. And I know I'm talking fast because that's what I do when I get excited. So I would love to give you the opportunity to join the Small Business Academy. I am going to only have 20 seats because I want it to be personal. I want you all to have access to me, and I only have so many hours in a day, and I am willing to give those hours to a limited amount of people. And I want you to have the opportunity to collaborate with the other entrepreneurs and the experience in the room. And we are going to meet weekly. It's going to start in January, the second week of January, because I know you need some time to recoup. I get it. And we're going to improve your business. We're going to give your quality of life back, and we're going to grow your business so it gives you the life that you've always dreamed of. So if you want to participate in this, well, first let me say, if you've chosen not to participate, that's okay. Watch this video a couple times because I've given you some really good gold nuggets, as my friend Celeste would say. Hi, Celeste. There's some really good information in here. So if you can watch the video a few times and pull out a few of the gold nuggets and implement them, then that's value to me. That warms my heart. If you want to join us, I need you to let me know as soon as possible, because there will only be one industry per seat in the academy. Because if I'm going to coach you, you're going to be the best industry in your business. I'm not going to coach you and your competitor. I'm going to coach you, and we are going to be successful together. So I need you to let me know as soon as possible. So you can comment, you can send me a Facebook message, or you can text me. I love texting. So I'm going to give you my number, 540-303-0240. I know it's a lot of zeros, and we're going to add those to your bottom line, by the way. So text me, send me a Facebook message, make a note in the comments, and I'm looking forward to Small Business Academy and giving you the life that you dreamed of when you started this business.